Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first discussion for our TEL 701 quantitative methods. I am Kelly, and I'm here with Kamara, and we are looking
Hello.
forward to chatting tonight about math and statistics. So we had a few discussion questions this week, and we're going to kind of talk about those. So I'll get started just with the first one. I like this question too, where it's asking us to talk about our personal history with math and or statistics, and just our experiences. Did we have something great, horrible that has changed our math trajectory? So I have kind of an interesting answer, I feel like, in that I have not liked math throughout grade school and all the time. Algebra, I think I really struggled with a lot. I did have some pretty awful math teachers, interestingly enough, as well, when I was studying computer science as an undergrad. Let's go back before even computer science. I found a lot of dominating male math instructors that were very intimidating and very like domineering and sort of patriarchal, that at the time in high school I didn't even have that vocabulary, didn't understand that that's what it was. But later when I went into undergrad and as I went into computer science major and also was in a male dominated field, started to recognize that more. And I was very intimidated in computer science because of the level of math that was in that degree. And I scaled back to information technology because I was too afraid to get the minor in math. So that's like my math history. I definitely have told people that I have a math phobia. Statistics, on the other hand, the first time I took a statistics class was as part of my undergrad. And I didn't view statistics the same way I viewed any other math. And I actually really like statistics because to me, it's storytelling, and I'm a storyteller. And I just saw so many, and I love facts. Like facts are fascinating to me, and I like to hear reports. And at the time when I took statistics, I took like a psychology class and a statistics class. And psychology was kind of talking about, questioning things and theories and how reports are presented to you and what it actually means, while statistics was backing that up with like, well, this is what a population sample actually means. And I loved it. So I have to say, math, not so much. And yes, there's some fear, but statistics, I don't know. I'm excited. So that's kind of been my history so far. How about you, Kamara?
Yeah, I probably have some similar experiences. I have, I joke about the fact that I'm about as right-brained as you can get. I was the girl in swing choir and acting on the stage, and anything that sort of went to that, what I would call that left brain or that math number space was always tough for me. But I think it was because I just did not have good math teachers. And it was mostly like you just had to learn it this one way. And I think my brain didn't learn it because it was a lot of memorizing of formulas. And I think if I don't know the why behind what I'm doing something, then it's really hard. Like I can memorize the formula, but and so I feel like I never got to learn how to like use my brain for math. I do remember having one really great math teacher in high school. He was geometry though, and so like that was different than algebra and stuff like that. And I can still remember some of the goofy, like he'd have all these like fraction action, and we'd like yell all these things out. And he was probably the first one that got me to think like, maybe I could actually do this. Fast forward to like adulthood, I took stats in undergrad. I was a psych major, and so I enjoyed that, much like you said, because it was like psych stats and I could see how it played into the studies. But then I wanted to get my MBA. And at that point, taking the GRE was the only option to get into really any kind of decent business school. And so I took the prep test and I got the most horrific score on the math. And I put that little dream of getting an MBA up on the shelf when I was probably 26 years old. And that was it. And I just decided I can't do math. I'm not smart enough to go to business school, and I'm never going to do this. So in 2019, when I graduated with my MBA, I was pretty proud of myself. But it really took going through that experience. And I'm married to a math teacher who I have watched teach math very differently and frankly teach me math very differently. I often say you should get an honorary MBA. And so I think that has like, I'm to this place where like, I think I can probably do math. I think I can do this. I think I just was taught wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that practice for the GRE too, and I did the same thing. I backed out. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not this is too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very
I
hard. I remember
mean,
that.
yeah, as I remember the GRE math test, and then I think what I did in my MBA, they're also like this, right? Which goes to sort of the, what are we really testing for? And, is that really like a valid marker of whether or not someone could be successful in getting their MBA? So I'm trying to keep an open mind about statistics. I took two statistics courses in my MBA. So yeah, I think it will be fun, especially because like it matters more now too, right? Like I feel like we're like I actually care what the outcome of this is going to be.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, yeah, that's kind of like as far as how we feel about taking this class. I think because it's tied to something we're so passionate about, we want to know, we want to get the data, we want to know what the data says, we want to be able to share that with other people, and understanding this class is going to help. I think that's yeah, for sure. I would say statistics and not sadistics. And it sounds like you're kind of on the same path. So our
Finally.
last little question is about anxiety gremlins.
Yeah.
A Brene Brown talk. So our professor will be talking about math gremlin. And what has my math gremlin told me in the past? If it shows up this semester, what do you want to tell it? So I think we kind of talked about that too. Like, it's in the path. I've reached a point where I thought this is just too hard. So it happened with the GRE back in high school. Trigonometry was where I stopped because like I took math up to a point where I thought I needed a certain scholarship,
Yeah.
and trigonometry was really hard. And like one semester I made an A, so like I could do it, but then I made a B and then I made a C and it got hard. And when I realized I didn't need it, then I made a D and I just dropped out. I was like, I don't want it. I was like, this is stress to me. So yeah, my math gremlin tells me if it's too hard, bail out. It's not going to tell me that for this class because that's not an option. So like if it shows up, I'll be like F off because like,
Sorry, not an option.
but I also don't really anticipate it. Like I think all the different factors that we've kind of talked about, I don't know that that's what will happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think I feel the same way. I think I can see that maybe like in the vice of the pressure of everything we're needing to get done this semester, I could see moments where I would just be like, I can't get this, or I'm not going to be able to understand it. And I think that's what my math gremlin would tell me. I think that's what it often tells me, like, you aren't smart enough to figure this out. And so I think, that's when I just have to say it, same thing you're going to tell yours and say, yeah, I am actually smart enough. Look at how far I've gotten in life. I figured out a lot of tough stuff. I do a lot of tough stuff, and statistics isn't going to be like the one thing in life that stops me that I'm unable to comprehend.
plus we have each other, and I feel
Yes.
like we have like a really strong cohort in our little group too, that like we don't have the rest of our group here with us this week, but any of you have been watching us throughout the semester. We've amassed a little following and we chat in Slack, and I feel very grateful to have that group, and we will be leaning on each other. I know like when these sorts of questions pop up, I think it's already happening where we're like, have you found that file for SPSS and
Uh,
those sorts of things? So
yeah, no, I think that's really true. And it does make a big difference to feel like we're not competing with each other, but we're here to make sure that we get across the finish line and we get across well. And I really appreciate that.
awesome. Well, I will end it there. So thanks so much, everyone. Looking forward to a great semester with you all and hope you have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.